Here's 5 things I wish I had done differently during these first couple of weeks. I'm dealing with digital detox symptoms, and here's 5 things I wish I had done differently during these first couple of weeks. The first and most obvious mistake is I'm still grabbing my iPhone. I have it tucked away in a drawer so it's less convenient, but when I get some time or when the baby is now officially down for the night, I'll just go post up on the couch and use my iPhone for 15 or 20 minutes. That's kind of like the methadone approach. I'm like weaning off, but there's enough of a hook in there for me to really feel that I'm not really embracing this experiment to its fullest extent. While I have regained an additional at least 2 hours a day, 2.5 hours a day of my time from the experiment so far, that is keeping me from getting the full benefit, or I hope benefit, but the fullness of the experiment is being held on a string right now by my continued use of my iPhone. The second mistake I'm making, there's been a dopamine void created for me. So I have this kind of angst almost that I'm like drawn towards more junk food, more sweets at night. There's a part of me wants some satisfaction or relief or pleasure out of life that I'm expecting, that I'm getting from my smartphone every day. And since I've taken that away, there's a void, and my impulses and my desire for junk food and stuffing my face with sweets at night, it's very real, and I'm gonna need to rein that in a little bit, because if I let one addiction be replaced by another, again, it will be counterproductive towards the goals of this experiment of getting rid of social media and my smartphone altogether. Mistake number 3, too much caffeine and nicotine. My nervous system is not a match for the lifestyle that I'm trying to dig into and embrace and become more calm, more patient, less pushed from behind, and filling my day with tedious, unproductive, but busy work. So the caffeine, the nicotine, anything that's ramping my nervous system up, I don't necessarily have a need for all that energy or place to put the focus, so it becomes frenetic, and I need to peel back a couple of these habits that are keeping my nervous system up, where I want to become more present, more focused, and less likely to experience ups and downs when I have better grip on the caffeine, hopefully elimination completely of the nicotine. But those ups and downs, in the moments of up and then down, I'm much more likely to reach for the phone or reach for the sweets, and the caffeine and nicotine is kind of keeping me on that up and then down and up and down. And while I have noticed more regulation in my nervous system from using my phone less, I'm definitely feeding that, sympathetic response in my nervous system, where my goal for this experiment is parasympathetic patience, calm. So that's the third mistake. The fourth mistake, there's some areas in my life where I'm being called and purposely slowing down in, and there's other areas of my life that needs ramping up. So waking earlier, more discipline around food, going harder in the gym, more commitment to my schedule routine like meditation. So there's areas of my life that I need to be going up and ramping into, and there's areas of my life that I need to be pulling back from. And right now, there's not a good balance there. So the fourth mistake that I'm making is that I'm putting big energy where I need to be coming down in energy, and I am not putting enough energy into the things that are going to help me adapt. So during this adaptation phase of living digitally minimal, I will need to push a little bit to get to the other side of this. So more time in the sauna, harder workouts, more mindfulness, and also peeling back to things like caffeine, nicotine, and busy work with the business, etc. So need to go up in some areas, need to pull back in other areas. And I need the mindset and output and the habits and actions I'm putting into each day to match the energy of what I'm seeking through this experiment, if that makes sense. The fifth, and again, one of the most obvious mistakes, I run a business, I have a social media marketing agency, and I'm still managing the account right now. So I need to log in to post, I need to log in to check comments, check DMs, all that sort of stuff. So because I still have that on my plate, when I grab my iPhone to check Instagram for business, The personal account is logged in. The personal account has all the comparison, doom and gloom, world's ending, psychopaths running the world. And that tie, I need to sort that out before too long here, because any temptation I have will just be exacerbated by, I need to grab the phone to use it for business. So the personal account, even if I log out, like it's just there. The iPhone, the smoothness of the iPhone, the launching of the Instagram app into business, the toggling between business and personal, that will be a trap for me no matter what. My discipline will not be able to override that instinct to check. So the fifth mistake that I'm making here is I'm still managing my own social media account, and I need to get out from that responsibility and delegate it ASAP. So digital detox symptoms are very real. I'm experiencing them right now. I'm failing the experiment as a whole because I'm not adapting and evolving in mind, body, consciousness that matching the goal of this experiment. But I'm only a couple of weeks in. I'm making some mistakes, but they're not fatal mistakes. And so while I have kept with, to recap, from last week, I have gone down over 2+ hours of screen time per day. That's a lot of time back. So I consider that win number one. And the failures that I'm experiencing in the experiment are not a failure in the experiment. You know what I mean? That makes sense. I haven't reverted back to this smartphone as my primary daily driver. So I'm still using the Wisephone. It's still serving its function. I still appreciate it. And also, there's a lot of things that I'm not doing correctly. Those 5 things that I'm gonna set out to start to reorient and fix these 5 mistakes that I'm making over this next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Hopefully we have a lot to report back on this list in 2 or 3 weeks from now. But for now, thanks for tuning in. And if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel, some cool stuff coming, and share this video if you feel inspired. So thanks for watching. If you find any value or enjoyment in these videos, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting. All that stuff helps a young YouTube channel get some bearings. So thanks for watching.